different team than what they were able to witness yesterday?
Absolutely. I think that also they got a little bit too over-committed in the picks and bans in the draft phase for the second game. The first game, they were, I wouldn't say trolling necessarily, they didn't want to show their full strategies, or their best strategies rather, so they held back, I feel like, the first game. It luckily worked out for them heading into the 40+ minute mark, where they finally found the win off of that one nice spectacular team fight. In the second game, they tried, I guess, to play a little bit more standard in what we're used to seeing in the meta, but it didn't work out for them. So I'm expecting Eager to go off the wall here in this last final game.
Well, with the picks and bans already underway for game number 3, I'd imagine that Eager isn't looking for any more tricks up their sleeve, and they want to stick a little bit more conventional this go around if they don't want to find themselves being eliminated before tomorrow's semifinals matches.
It's pretty safe to say that whatever they bring out here is going to be considered one of their premier strategies, which is very important. If Eager continue this set and move on in the tournament, then anyone they've got to face is going to have a very good insight into what they're going to play. And the same for Black Dragons. They are using everything they have. And what's impressed me about them is how quickly they've adapted other regions' picks. The picks that they've been playing in this set are not the picks they were playing yesterday. And it shows that they have a bigger playbook than people might think they have. Something already different from Team Eager is the fact that they didn't ban the Circuit. They banned the Susanoo and first picked the Circuit. So this is going to be the first time in quite a while that we're going to see DJ Pernicus on the Poison Goddess.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Circuit has been a highly prioritized pick in EU, and with the success that EU's been having so far at these LAN events, I think it is around that time to just take a page out of their book and, you know, try and make it work yourself. I feel like Eager are going to say with this Circuit pick, they're going to go full pressure. They want to run this game from minute 1. And they don't want Black Dragons to give them a, even a chance. A lot of teams think that they can play late game against these international teams, and Black Dragons have shown that you can't. If you give them a lead, they're going to run away with it, and Eager are going to say, no, we're picking early game, we're going to get that lead, we're going to run this game.
The two side laners for Black Dragon, Kliz getting his Bologna, Marcel's getting his Hu Yi, the team fight god that he wanted to play in that first game, which worked out relatively well for him up until that later stages, but instantly locking in Terra. Not going to be the Fafnir, but it's going to be the Terra and the Fenrir instead. And I find it interesting that with Rom being available, we haven't seen that so far from Marcel's. Ataraxia, why do you feel as though he's prioritizing the Hu Yi over the Rom?
A lot of the issues with Rom right now is the build path that you go. A lot of hunters have early pressure because they can go Bluestone, and Rom is a character who just can't use it. It procs on one ability and it's his ultimate, so it gives him an unfortunate lane. He's a lot weaker than other characters at the start, and I feel like that's maybe why they're shying away from it. What interests me is they have Terra, Fenrir, and Circuit, and those could kind of go everywhere, I think that Terra's been played by Divios and Aurora, as is Fenrir, and also by DJ. All, those two characters are paid by a lot of their players, and very well, so that's a super flex and super janky.
Well, all those gods from Team Eager that have been locked in rely on their escapes to be a big impact, and Poseidon could prevent a lot of these escapes happen if caught under that whirlpool. So I like the thought process for Non on this Poseidon.
Fenrir support from Aurora would certainly be pretty spicy, considering we haven't really seen too much of that since the Fat Chunks days, and I'm not sure too many people are very familiar with Aurora from that point in time, but he was definitely a strong member on this Fenrir support, should it opt to go that way. I'd imagine not so much. I would prefer to see that as a pressure god against the Bologna due to the fact that he does have the stun out, which could work on her bludgeon clear. But I think I have to agree with you wholeheartedly, Toli. That Poseidon cripple could be a massive issue for the entirety of Eager so far.
I wouldn't be surprised, like you mentioned before, if Aurora was to play the Warrior Fenrir, trying to set up best, because we didn't see that the last game where the Nike was providing too much of an impact for the best compared to the first game where the Erlong Shen was being run, trying to really get something going on. And the high base damage from Fenrir's abilities is good enough to be even run in the support position where you can build tanky, get those cooldowns running online, and then just spam that Unchained ability.
What I want to see is what they're planning to run in mid lane with the Fenrir. They opted not to pick up the mid lane, or they could have delayed Fenrir if this was the strat they wanted to go for, and picked up something like Ra or Toth, who could have punished the Fenrir. But right now the characters they have that are in the best god pools that we know of to punish on a Fenrir, they're dwindling. So I'm very curious to see what they do end up picking here.
And typically when we see Nemesis locked in for most teams, they tend to try and hold it off because they want to ensure that there's going to be a ton of frontline or tanky presence on the enemy team. With Eager having Circuit, Fenrir, Cupid, and Terra, do you feel as though the Nemesis can have the same sort of impact?
Yeah, I think Nemesis is a bit more robust than people give her, but she has I think she's going to have a great time in this this game. She has pretty decent matchups against everything, and with the Poseidon, every target is killable. There are some, some games there's just some targets you can't kill unless the team fight's over, but with Poseidon Nemesis, you can guarantee you can kill absolutely everybody, and that's something Eager have got to watch out for.
But with the new wall being the final selection, which I feel as though that'll be going the way of the best in the mid lane, do you think that that's kind of risky to run against the draft so far from Black Dragons?
It's a safe pick, but it's also a low everything pick. It doesn't really do much until late game. It's, you let them play into you and then you respond and you counterfight, and I'm not a fan of Eager's draft so far. It's not something I don't see what they're going to do here.
I feel it's a counter pick here. It's a defensive pick for the best, trying to survive in these engagements, just to go up into the sky, prevent himself from getting Kraken if he gets in trouble, prevent the dive happening from O-Ship in that jungle, as well as maybe relying on the global presence from both Terra and Nua to help initiate and find the cleanup kill if DJ Pernicus on the Circuit decides to gank either one of those side lanes.
And with the Ares being the final selection here for Black Dragon, it is do or die at the moment for both of these teams. And Ataraxia, who do you think is going to be taking it away?
I love that man. He's a very nice person, and I'm glad to call him a friend, but this is Brazil. Brazil win this game.
I have to give it to Brazil as well here for also the same exact reasons. I love you, Zap, but this composition coming out of Black Dragons is looking very dicey here. And Eager's comp, it's got to work out early or it's not going to work out at all.
Deska's rooting for the underdogs, which is the Brazilian team Black Dragons, to find out whether or not this is the end of Team Eager. We've got Aggro, we've got Huggsy, and we've got game number 3 underway.
Thank you very much, analysts. Black Dragons, again, it seems from the analysts having the favorable draft, but they've always picked Team Eager to win. Will Black Dragons stumble now? Have they cursed them?
You cursed them, dudes. This is their chance. This is their time. But I think they could really do it. I do.
Yeah.
This Ares pick last here for Black Dragons was perfect. I absolutely love it. They've got control. They are lacking hard CC. That's the big thing here for Black Dragons, is their previous drafts had lots of stuns, lots of knockups, things that were controlling the opposition. Not this time. They have to worry about hitting their skill shots just without any setup. But this Ares pick shuts down the Circuit. It shuts down the Terra. It shuts down the Fenrir, the Cupid. It does 4 members there really dirty. This is a great pick, and this is just like I said in the Obey energy set. It all comes down to how accurate is Emilzy going to be with his chains. So how accurate is P-Bay going to be with his chains?
Look at
That's
this
the big difference.
5-man kind of invade here for Team Eager on the left-hand side of Black Dragons. I think they're just trying to establish some vision control here, maybe find someone out. DJ Pernicus hiding behind a wall, but I'm not sure. What are Eager trying to pull off here?
Just trying to find someone lurking, I think. You were right on the target earlier on, and now that they find out that no one is taking the bait, they're just going to head back and go to their respective lanes. I love the first pick Circuit in this scenario. I think it's really strong. I also love the pick from Zap, not only because it's good against the opposition, but this Cupid would have been excellent against Eager's opposition as well, Eager's lineup as well. This is a really strong Cupid pick to keep it out of the hands of Black Dragons, and we know Zap can play it.
This Ares pick is, I think, going to be the make or break of Black Dragons. If P-Bay can hit his chains, it's going to be very difficult for Eager to get anything. If he's missing those, though, as you said, there's a lack of other CC, and already hitting 2 chains in a row, just barely missing the 3rd.
Look at where Aurora is handling Marcel, just keeping him out of lane on that left side, making sure that he can't get in, and using that auto attack slow. Aurora isn't smiling right now. Usually used to seeing him just grinning on the player cams, but he is locked in for this game, and he needs to be to make sure that Eager don't go home early.
Something important to mention is that North America and Europe, yes, they've lost a game to international teams before. They lost a game here and they lost one at Worlds. They have never lost a best of 3 or greater set to an international team.
And this is a chance for Brazil to be the first to do it. Marcel's in some trouble on that left-hand side. Zap hitting every single auto there on the juking target. Everyone from Eager knows this is serious business time. No more messing around. Love how locked in they are right now. But Black Dragons played so well in Game 2, and really in Game 1 as well, but Game 2 in particular, that I don't know if this means that, even if Eager's going 100%, focusing as hard as they can, I really don't think they took game 2 lightly. I think they really did have every intention of just crushing Black Dragons that game, but Black Dragons just outplayed them, and there's no reason they can't do it again here in game 3.
You could see the seriousness on everyone on Eager's face, even the best who, you know, we talk about Raw usually spying. The best is just always happy. I've never seen that man not happy. But this is like that meme, you know, top 10 anime transformations. Now they're here, ready to play, ready to fight, and they are, you know, angry. They are pissed, for lack of a better term.
Hughes, I get made fun of all the time for describing memes, just like talking about them colloquially like that. And I'm very proud of you that you just did it. Now, I knew exactly what meme you were talking about and appreciated your reference. Excellent job, my friend.
That's all right. I mean, we have some synergy already. This is our first cast together, actually.
I feel like it's gone horribly, and that's what everyone should have expected.
Yeah.
0-0 still. Eager and Black Dragon sitting at the 0 marks. No real aggression yet, and this is classic Eager. They don't want to necessarily fight early, but as Tolly said on the desk, this is a composition that does kind of want to fight early. They've got good late game in the mid lane for the best on Nuwa, but basically everywhere else is early game focused. So Eager probably going to look for these early objectives, the early Gold Furies, even some fights over the early Portal Demon could be advantageous for them to try and get a lead.
The right-hand side of the map thus far, though, has belonged to Black Dragons. They're getting the Fire Elementals again. They've gotten both speed buffs so far. You can see them on Oship and on Nan. So they're really running this right-hand side of the map, which is... I personally think that this side of the map is so important early, especially getting your speed buff, because your speed buff as a jungler, and even as a mid laner with a speed buff, allows you to get across the map so early and so quickly and get so much farm.
Without a doubt, and just keeps you safe. I mean, you make sure that you can juke out abilities a little bit easier, which is so important. These little tiny engagements, just your positioning, become so much easier when you've got extra movement speed like that. The problem is that Marcel's is significantly behind on that left side. For as good of an early game Black Dragons have had on the right, it's going equally poorly on the left. Marcel's 2 levels down right now.
There's the ultimate there out of the best, trying to keep himself safe, but yet again it looks like First Blood's going to go the way of Brazil, and it does. Oship cleans up best there in the mid lane.
Black Dragon's off to another good start. I agree with Ataraxia on the desk. Nuwa does a whole lot of okay. She's okay at everything. She doesn't really excel at anything. She can do unmissable damage with the ultimate. That's the big one, but not enough in the early game.
Mid lane, DJ Pernicus jumps in. There's the ultimate out of Zapman. Nan in a lot of trouble, but an Aegis will save him. There's a Kraken as well. P-Bay pulls in 2. Zapman, though, is going to get the kill. Here's Kliz TPing in. Eagles rally. Kliz finds the kill onto DJ.
What a quick response from Kliz to teleport into that mid tower immediately. Teleport takes a while to channel these days after some nerfs coming into Season 4. Takes a long time to get there, so Kliz decided he was coming to that fight early in that engagement, evens it up 1 for 1, and it's about keeping DJ down once more.
And what it does as well is that since Zapman rotated over and Marcel's didn't, Marcel's got some free farm in that left lane. Now he's going to get a red buff, might even get his purple buff as well, and he should bring him back up to even with Zapman.
Good idea here from Zap to freeze the wave because it's so close to his tower. It's not a good idea to freeze whenever you're close to the enemy's tower because it puts you out of position. But here, look at how far this wave is up. It's going to be difficult for Marcel's to come and get this farm anytime soon. Zap definitely making the right play here.
Right-hand side, though, Black Dragons want to keep the control over here. They're looking for this blue buff again. Divio's forced into his ultimate, and the blue buff, though, it does fall the way of Eager. However, that's a big ultimate force out of the solo lane.
And it's just for the chains from Ares. P-Bay on the mark early on this game. Love that decision from Divios to use the ultimate quickly because he needed to. And look at Oship's confidence, man. He doesn't care. He's just showing DJ a little bit of disrespect, sitting there backing right in front of that wave, saying, I know what you can do, and I'm not scared of it.
Oracle Harpies are going to fall the way of Eager. Gold is still relatively even between these two teams, only about a 500 difference, 600 or so. Experience, again, level, a little bit of an advantage towards Eager. So this game's still very, very even, not too much in it, but Black Dragon's definitely very, very confident in this one, and that is an important thing to see out of an international squad.
Without a doubt, and this team it really comes into their own in terms of the composition they've drafted in the mid stages of the game. Right when Nan's Kraken is still basically one-shotting people, but it's starting to fall off in damage a little bit, and it's starting to transition into that control role. Right as P-Bay's damage is starting to fall off a little bit and turning into more control as well, that's where Oship starts to really go off. That's where Marcel's really starts to take off, and that's going to be a lot of damage that Eager has to deal with. that 18 to 21 minute mark is going to be a sweet spot for Black Dragons in this competition.
Black Dragons as well basically forced 3 or 4 members of Team Eager into a Wingblade this game, given that they have a Poseidon, given that they have a Nemesis and an Ares as well. A Wingblade is a pretty much necessary pickup on those members of Team Eager.
And that is good news, though, for Eager overall. While I agree with you that, yes, they're forced into this itemization, it's such a good item anyways, that's not a big deal. You know, that's not something they're really upset about.
Divios!
Oh, Divios in a lot of trouble on the right, but Kliz trying to find it, just turns around and walks away. Divios finds the one-on-one kill underneath the tower.
So close, and you could even you could just tell Kliz was there going for the solo kill, and so close, but that Ragnarok came off on cooldown on just the right moment for Divios.
Really unfortunate. Kliz a little bit upset with himself, as you can see, but this happened in game 2, where Kliz was a little bit upset with his positioning, and it ended up A-OK for the Black Dragons. But Divios getting a lead is exactly what the doctor ordered for Eager. That's exactly what they need if they want to take game 3 here, in my mind, because Divios in game 2 just was invisible because of the Guardian selection. He had such a good game in game 1 on the Pressure Warrior. Give him another Pressure God. Fenrir fits that bill. Let him come in and make life difficult for both Nan and Oship in the mid lane.
And Fenrir, you absolutely need to be ahead. From behind, does very little. Ooh, nice little double tap there out of Marcel's. P-Bay gets a chain onto Aurora, so he can't dash through that pillar. But good poke out of the duo lane of Black Dragons. But as I was saying, Fenrir, you really need to be ahead. From behind is actually a detriment to your team because he wants to be in and amongst the action, getting those brutalizers off, jumping in and getting stuns. If you're behind, if you're weak, if you're low on health, you just die.
That's true, but that's usually the assassin role that Fenrir is filling. In this composition, he's probably going to be building fairly tanky. He's going to be the role of the initiator, not necessarily worried about how much damage he's doing, but just picking someone up and bringing them to Zapman, bringing them to the best with that Ragnarok. So even if Divios does fall behind, it doesn't spell the end of the world, but it certainly hurts Eager if they want to be aggressive in the early to mid game, which is what their composition should be looking to do.
Gold Fury not really looked at by either of these teams, but the Oracle Harpies has been a side of contention between both. Mid Harpy's going to fall to Black Dragons. Gold still a little bit in their favor. Again, though, not too much to worry about here. Mid lane, it looks like Eager trying to find something. DJ Pernicus through the smoke finds P-Bay, but the chains are great from the Peruvian support. Oship dashes back, but here's the Terra's Blessing. In jumps DJ Pernicus. P-Bay with the ultimate trying to get something here. Nan is still alive somehow, as well as Oship.
Oh, the dot, just not quite enough. Maybe 1 or 2 more, and that would have been a kill for DJ Pernicus on the enemy jungler. But this creates enough space for Eager to think about potentially pulling the Gold Fury. Best playing aggressive, finds the stun onto Marcel's without finding the root. Marcel's going to jump away, but Eager only get the oracles, not the objective.
Kliz tried to TP in there, but the wall was killed very quickly there by Eager, so preventing that relic use from the Black Dragons, preventing the re-engage, especially. Aurora, a little bit of poke onto him here. Nan still hanging around despite being very low HP.
He's got the Bumba's Mask, though, and he heals off of that purple buff to give him a little bit of sustain to stay here just in case Team Eager decide they do want to go for that Gold Fury. Divios had an opportunity to steal away buffs on that right side,
for it,
but didn't recognize that they were up initially before Kliz got back here, and
Good
Kliz
timing.
is going to be able to secure his own blue. Divios instead went for the Fire Elementals, which is an additional farm that Kliz doesn't have, but that could have been a speed buff invade onto Oship. Divios just didn't have the information to make the right play.
That was a great play there from Kliz. He waited for Divios to do some damage to that blue buff, and then used his budget and got extra damage for hitting Divios with it as well, enough to secure it. But now Eager taking this Gold Fury down very, very quickly. Black Dragons are here, though. Aurora taking some damage. Eager gets the Gold Fury, but Marcel's raining the suns down. Aurora's in a lot of trouble. P-Bay picks him up. Zapman with the Fields level will keep himself safe, but P-Bay's putting this team on his back. Double kill for the Ares.
2 for 0, but Eager do get the Gold Fury. It's a matter of what Black Dragons can do with this 2-man advantage.
I love this.
Great call. Immediately to the mid lane. The mid wave was already pushed underneath the tower. 500 gold here.
Plus Portal
Demon, exactly, going right for that objective as well. And if Team Eager can't get in to contest this one, it's going to be a net gain here for Black Dragons.
Kraken is still up for Nan to secure this if they need it. I don't know if Divios is going to come in. Fire Shards come out, so Eager know where Black Dragons are. Here comes the Kraken. Eager get the Portal Demon, but P-Bay gets another kill.
That's a big play out of Divios. And P-Bay, or excuse me, Nan needs to just Kraken that Portal Demon every single time. Black Dragons probably not going to fight after that engagement. Use it to secure the objective, and you probably would have killed Divios anyways there. Now, because Divios does fall, this does allow Black Dragons to almost get this tier 1, but Oship might have stayed too long to try and secure that 500 gold.
Pharaoh's Blessing comes out. PB in the middle of Team Eager. Up he goes with a no escape, but he might fall quickly. He does. Zapman picks up the kill, and now it's a 4-on-4 situation that slightly favors Eager due to the cooldowns, but they're just going to pick up one. Black Dragon's going to walk away here underneath their Tier 1 tower. Best with the minions. They're going to look to try and take this tower here, our Team Eager.
And this is what Nuwa excels at. We were saying she doesn't excel at a whole lot, but I think we all are forgetting about her tower siege potential. Now, those minions don't remove backdoor protections like they used to, but it still just tanks up that tower and provides you a little bit of extra damage onto the structure. Eager going to answer back with 500 of their own, courtesy of a tower. It's going to put them up right around 1,000 gold, but Black Dragon still up in kills, 5-3.
This is a very even game. DJ Pernica slowed down there, forced to burn his beads, actually jumping away from Marcel's and Nan. Red buff is going to be secured by the Black Dragons as well, so not too much of a loss there for them, but a very important relic burnt on DJ.
And DJ has needed that purification beads consistently in this game. 2 deaths again for the jungler, and he's been a big focus for Black Dragons, and I can't say I blame him with this composition that they've drafted. Does a great job of shutting down the mobility of the Circuit.
Oracle Harpies going to fall the way of both these teams, split evenly there, so no vision over the Gold Fury. But it's still not going to spawn for another 2.5 minutes, so neither team terribly worried about that, more about the golden experience. Kliz still battling out Divios here in the right-hand side solo lane. But overall, as I was saying, just a very close game still between these two teams, neither giving an inch, looking just very much like this one is going to be a slugfest, trading blows back and forth.
Love the itemization so far from Oship, an early stone-cutting sword. It's an expensive item, but he got it online pretty early on in this game, and now he can go for some cheaper items to try and augment that damage quickly and all of a sudden get a big burst. And Nemesis right now, as we're nearing the 13-minute mark, is starting to become more and more relevant in terms of damage. The slice and dice, that's maxed out, so you're going to be able to clear the wave a little bit easier. You're going to be doing more poke damage and slowing them pretty significantly. And now your auto attacks are going to be swinging quite heavily as well with that stone cutting.
While it has been exciting to see a support get 3 kills, I mean, that's kind of just what Ares does, the kill distribution hasn't been, it's not the most efficient for Black Dragons.
I would agree with you there. If I'm Marcel's, I'm saying, hey, PB, nice job, but can you throw some kills my way next time? And if you're rooting for Black Dragons, it's probably who you wish had some of these kills, Marcel's. But he's already sitting at 0-0-3, right there even with Zapman thus far.
Great stun from Divios just to prevent Kliz from being able to full clear that wave. And Divios now, he's starting to become online and a little bit scary with this Fenrir.
Without a doubt, now he's getting a little bit of extra damage, or excuse me, yeah, damage and lifesteal with that Seething Howl and the Sunder as well. So you know he's going to be looking to hit the stun and the Sunder right back to back.
Zapman ults Marcel's. They're trying to force a relic out. Might try and force the kill, but now Zapman's in trouble. It was all a bait from Marcel's. PB with the chain. Zapman burns the purification beads. Can Oship find the kill? He might be out, and Divios is teleported in, so this might be trouble for the Black Dragons. Nan is rotating in as well, but a great response there from PB.
Great job holding that no escape, giving the CC immunity to get out of the Ragnarok. Kliz, he's shown up with his own teleport. Win there overall for Black Dragons, I would say. You get both relics out of Divios and his ultimate. Both relics out of Zapman, more importantly.
And his ultimate.
No relics used by Black Dragons outside of the lone teleport from Kliz. Nice idea by them. I can't believe Zapman got out, but it was the fact that Aurora used his global ultimate and then bested as well. So 4 ults down for that little engagement.
Oship fighting DJ Pernicus here, actually getting the better of the engagement as DJ heals up Oship through that Nemesis shield. Importantly there as well, Marcel's didn't use any of his relics. So disciplined. And I think at that point when Zapman realized, like, why is this guy taking all this damage and all of this CC for free, he kind of realized, I might be in some trouble.
Really smart plays out of Black Dragons. Their communication seemed to be very, very clean. Knows exactly what everyone is going to do on their team all at once. Really impressed with the way they played so far today, regardless of the outcome of this game.
Divios jumped into the left-hand side camps, but Kliz is able to secure it with the disarm. Gold Fury seems to be the next objective of these two teams, or at least the Oracle Harpies, and Nan does have his Kraken online. Divios jumps in. There is the Ragnarok ultimate. PB doesn't have his no escape. Feels the log come down, but it's a big Kraken from Nan. Marcel claims the life of the Fenrir, and now Black Dragons have got themselves a man advantage.
This was happening to Eager in game 1. Over-committing to the tanks. That time it's PB. There's just not burst damage on this roster for Eager. There's no Kraken. There's nothing outside of the minion stun coming out of best. Just can't do that.
A raw dash there, he's in a little bit of trouble. Nan, very low HP, very low mana. DJ Pernicus getting in there, looking to get some damage. They toss back PB. Finally, the life of the Ares is claimed. Kliz disarms Zapman very nicely. DJ claims a kill. Actually, it's going to be best. Whirlpool thrown down there from Nan, but Black Dragons are stuck around too long.
Really good plays out of DJ. He turns it around for Team Eager there. A great Cobra's Kiss. It's multiple members of Black Dragons, and then finds the right target with the last breath on top of it. Nice plays out of the jungler, setting Eager back on the right foot.
And now the Gold Fury is open right up for Team Eager. No one really around to contest this other than Oship and Marcel's. Marcel's doesn't even have his sons up here. Can he find a lucky ricochet? The Terror's Blessing's used, and now Eager looking for the kill. DJ blinks through the wall. Eager get the Gold Fury as well, but Oship's turning onto DJ Pernicus. Marcel's trying to fight a Roar here along with the best, but there's nothing the Black Dragons can find off the back of that. Big win for Team Eager.
Big win, exactly. That Gold Fury, the second of the game, both going Eager's way. That time, though, they didn't lose any members in securing the objective. Now up about 2,500 gold. But again, this is what this draft is designed to do for Team Eager. Love the patience from Black Dragons to just wait out Divios' ultimate and then immediately commit the Kraken to him. Look at how much magical defense he had. At that point, it was very little. I think it was just the Enchanted Buckle. Now he's finished that Runic Shield, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for P-Bay and Nan to do relevant damage to him. But still, they can still really chunk through the lack of HP that he has. Runic Shield, the only HP item.
Portal Demon there taken by the Black Dragons, making sure that they get that one secured this game. They lost one earlier with a missed Kraken, or a mistimed Kraken, I should say. But now looking at P-Bay as well, just starting to get some of his own magical damage online, and I bring that magical protection online, and I bring that up because of the player damage coming out of the best. Yes, his fire shards can hit every target of the map, you know, Noir forehead, hard skill shot, but still, top damage by about 3,000 at this stage of the game with a Noir. Pretty impressive.
No, he has had a very impressive game. I agree with you there. We've been doubting this Noir pick, but through the early stages of the game, Best has played it very well. And Noir does bring excellent burst damage in one-on-one engagements, two-on-one, where you can CC them and get multiple hits off the minion stun. And that can happen off of the Ragnarok holding from Divios. It's just difficult to do so in the middle of a team fight, and it's still not your, giant burst of raw snipe Kraken, something like that, but certainly can be effective with this pick, and that's exactly what Best has been thus far. A big, big play out of Best so far this game.
Kliz getting jumped on by Divios. DJ Pernicus is around here as well. No tier 1 tower for Kliz to hide under, but he wisely backs away. Aurora's in a lot of trouble here. Kraken comes out, the fire, the flames, look at the heals of Terra, and P-Bay claims his 4th kill of the game.
Aurora knows exactly how much damage Ares can do. Yeah. Aurora, one of the premier Ares in the world, and P-Bay showing him that he can do it himself. Another kill. 4 of the 7 on Black Dragons are on the support.
Sunder was used there by Divios. He jumps on, and Kliz actually, does he use Purification beats there? Fire shots comes out. Kliz, no chance to get out as DJ's here as well.
I think Divios just dropped him there to get extra auto attacks while that Sunder was still active onto the Bellona. Smart plays there out of the solo laner, and this is one of the disadvantages of games like this, where both solo towers go down fairly early, and there's a lot of rotations. Your solo laners don't get ahead, and that favors a character like Fenrir more than it does Bellona. Bellona needs to have some levels to be really effective in these team fights. All warriors do. That's what they're designed for. But Divios is playing an assassin. Yes, he's building tanky, but he still has excellent numbers to get in there and brawl it up with the rest of the team. So this style of game that Eager has kind of baited Black Dragons into is definitely favoring Eager's draft.
And DJ Pernicus, for me, this game has really stepped it up. Last game really struggled on the Ratatoska pick, but now, he's finding himself on Serket, assassin with a lot of damage early, finding himself some golden experience, not finding himself behind, a few kills as well, a little bit more confidence as well, I would say. So now that he's a little bit more relevant in the game, the whole team of Team Eager is a little bit more complete.
And Oship is not getting off to as nearly as good of a start as he did last time around. And this time on this Nemesis, just now finishing off that Wingblade. It took him a little bit of time to farm up a relatively cheap item in that 3rd slot. Now could be going for an Executioner, could be a Chin Size, should be one or the other depending on what Marcel's wants to go for. Both these two can shred targets for each other as long as they itemize correctly. These auto attacks could be doing a lot of damage, but there's only one Guardian, and there's no Warriors. Remember, Divios, while he's building tanky, doesn't have that innate physical protection that Oship really wants to steal from these frontliners.
Black Dragons committing a little bit to this tower here. Eager recognize this, start to rotate over this way, but in the mid lane, it looks like Divios and DJ Pernicus are trying to find a pick here onto Oship, but Kliz is there to help peel away the Fenrir.
Oship doing a nice job with that Retribution Shield so far this game. We saw right there him healing himself up, using that 3rd ability, and then against DJ Pernicus as well. But now that DJ's hit level 17, he's 2 levels ahead of this Nemesis in the jungle has been very safe thus far, and a ton of penetration already for DJ. The Jotun's Wrath directly into the Titan's Bane. And while Titan's Bane in that slot not necessarily as effective because there isn't as much physical protection in the route on the map, it's about waiting until later. He's buying this now for the power, and the penetration will become more and more relevant as the game goes on. And it allows him to itemize for different things in the meantime without worrying about where his penetration's at.
Oship just getting some poke down onto Aurora. Zap going to help him heal him up a little bit. Gold Fury is spawning. Eager's got both of these thus far, and that's kept the gold lead relatively even between these two teams. If Black Dragons can finally find one of these objectives, could be trouble for Eager, but Black Dragons are shredding. This Terror's Blessing comes through. We need to see a Kraken to secure it. Black Dragons actually get it without the Kraken. PB with the no escape doesn't find a target. Zapman dashing away from Oship, who's trying to pick up the Cupid, and now Kliz is in a lot of trouble as Divios managed to pick him up, and Oship stuck between them. Big Kraken there, though. Might save Oship. DJ Pernicus says, not so quickly, son.
That last breath's going to be able to clean him up. And Eager got the Gold Fury once and then lost 2 members. Exact same thing happening to Black Dragons right now, but it might be 3. P-Bay got nowhere to go, locked in the jungle. Zapman finds his 4th kill. Eager with number 9 in total, and they take the team fight despite the lack of objective control on the blue side. Nan was just too low on mana. He couldn't even use the Kraken to try and to secure that Gold Fury. Sands of Time gave him enough in order to step up and use a Kraken that was nice, but he just doesn't have quite enough damage to one-shot anyone anymore at this stage in the game because of all the HP. Look at the best. He's got that Ethereal Staff. He's not as worried about your just big damage numbers because of how much more HP and CC reduction he has.
There's a big commitment there onto Zapman, who I thought did an excellent job to be able to get out and just bait so many abilities. Baited the overcommit from Kliz and from Oship. Without those two protecting their backline, there was not a whole lot that PB could do once that no escape was down. That's
the big one, is that Kliz was just too far forward there, cannot afford to be frontlining like that when he's down in levels to everyone on Eager outside of Aurora. Portal Demon goes down in favor of Team Eager. Kliz just a moment too late in terms of using that Eagles rally.
Gold in the favor of Team Eager. Experience a little bit that way as well. As you mentioned earlier, Oship not quite as far ahead in this game, or not as quite experience advantage as he would have had in the previous games. DJ Pernick is actually with a 2-level advantage. Now we're starting to see the chart spike in Team Eager's favor. You know, the game's not over, but now it's starting, the clock's starting to tick now for Team Eager.
But again, this is where Black Dragon's composition can start to shine as long as they can use their right, to find the right targets. Zapman doesn't have any relics, but Oship gets stunned out by Divios. DJ wrapping around the back, the Terran's Blessings pop, which allows Divios to reach the jungler in time and bring him back for best to put up double digits for Eager.
Divios has done such a good job this game of punishing Oship for his overcommitments. Marcel's finally going to get this tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, but it looks like Eager want to push up this mid lane, and this might cost Black Dragons a tier 2 tower. Divios going to teleport over onto the left-hand side as well.
Stopping the push of Marcel's. He's going to back up, as will the rest of Team Eager. Oship did go for the Executioner, and Marcel's went for the Chin size, so good coordination between the two there. Don't want to stack 2 Executioners necessarily, though it's not the end of the world if you do. But if those two are on the same target, between the Stone-Cutting Sword and the Executioner, Oship is going to shred through anybody on Team Eager. It's just a matter of how long can he actually stand there and auto-attack. That's the big thing with Nemesis is, yes, between her passive and stealing away physical protection with your ultimate, and then this kind of itemization, on paper, your DPS is absolutely insane. Just a matter of, can I really stick around for 3 auto-attacks on the same target all the time? Difficult to really guarantee that you can do so.
And he's been going for Zapman a lot, and Zapman's done such a good job on this Cupid being able to stay calm and collected, get out, and then turn and burn when the rest of his team shows up. 4-0-3 thus far for the Hunter of Team Eager.
And Nan just doesn't have a lot of damage still. Yes, the Spear of the Megas certainly helping him out overall, but that Fatalis 4th item is great for survivability, gives you a little bit of penetration, but still not much. It doesn't need a whole lot more of pen after that Spear of the Megas, especially in terms of flat pen, even with that Hardware Amulet being done for Aurora. But overall, Nan just going to be lacking in damage overall. You can see he's almost being doubled right now by the damage that the best is putting out.
Bottle Demon still down here. Fire Giant not really being seriously looked at by Team Eager, but they want to pressure the Black Dragons away from this objective and away from this side of the jungle. 3 members of the Brazilian squad are in the mid lane. Zapman hanging around that area as well. But overall, Team Eager just strategically forcing Black Dragons back and back and back, slowly putting a stranglehold on this team.
I do love the Magi's pickup here for P-Bay on this Ares. Just there's a lot of CC on Team Eager, yes, but most of it is where you get committed to. There's not a lot of, you know, disarms from a distance or Geb knockups that you can do without really committing a key cooldown. It's Divios jumping in on you. It's Zapman with the Heart Bomb is the easiest one to really commit to without you know, losing the team fight off the bat. Aurora is the other one with that Crushing Earth that's going to be looking for PB, but without extra CC on top of that, it's difficult to confirm it from a distance. And as long as PB can make sure that he doesn't get hit by that Crushing Earth or Heart Bomb, he's going to be able to withstand the tanking. He's going to be able to withstand the CC onslaught that Eager's been able to throw at him, because Eager's recognized that no escape is problematic for them in their draft, and they need to take out Ares early on. But with that Magi's Blessing now having 2 aura items as well, PB might just be too tanky in order for that to happen.
Goldtree has respawned. Divios going to start that one up. Zapman going to be coming along here soon as well, but more than anything, looking to just bait Black Dragons in here. PB going in. The Heart Bomb doesn't land from Zapman. That could have been a good burn of the Magi's Blessing if he'd got it, but unfortunately not to hit that one. Divios still hanging around the wall, trying to bait stuff out of Black Dragons, but Black Dragons holding their nerve.
And again, I think that was an attempt to get that Magi's Blessing off of PB, but both Zapman and Divios can't quite find it. Now Gold Fury is going to be the focus for Team Eager. Black Dragon knows this is happening with that ward there, but Eager's doing this pretty quickly.
Divios jumps in, and Eager immediately turn off the Gold Fury. Kraken comes out, no escape as well for PB. He pulls in 2, the Sun's already down from Marcel's. Black Dragons don't lose any members. Cliz is very low, and they force Eager away from the Gold Fury. Fields of Love comes out, that burns a lot of beads and forces Black Dragons away.
Cliz just able to back in time. Does have that teleport to come back in, but look at how healthy all of Eager is. No ultimates on either side now as they start up the Gold Fury once more.
Chains coming out from PB, who gets hit by that Crushing Earth, taking a lot of damage. They're investing a lot into this tank. Our Team Eager, and they might be able to find the kill. Good stun there from Divios. DJ Pernicus comes in, but a beautiful Whirlpool prevents him from dashing forward. That's not going to stop Divios, though. The Brutalize comes out. He jumps forward. He wants this tank, but he might pay for it with his life as Cliz goes in with a bludgeon.
Oh, shit. Coming around the backside, gets stunned out there. The Whirlpool's good. Divios locked in place for a moment, but just not enough damage from Black Dragons to kill any of these low-health targets.
Not enough damage at this stage of the game, but the later and later it goes, the more and more they'll have online with Oship and with Marcel's. Eager, no one falling. Black Dragons, no one falling, but this Gold Fury yet again started up by Team Eager.
Marcel's still pretty healthy. Oship's about half HP and needs to be worried about DJ Pernicus. Gold Fury gets reset here by Eager. I don't know if they meant to do that. Oship is toast. Actually,
the shield.
Retribution shield still not going to be enough. He's going to fall to DJ Pernicus. That new ultimate would have confirmed it anyways. Eager get the pick and the objective. Gold lead now about 5K.
It's starting to look worse and worse for the Black Dragons, just seeming to run into a wall that is Team Eager. Eager seem to have awoken now. They seem to have really switched it on, and you know, maybe they're revealing a couple of picks, a couple of strats that they might not want to do, but this is the final game. They have to be playing this way against this team. Otherwise, they face the prospect of elimination.
There's no more time to hold back at this stage. You're absolutely right. You cannot afford to... Pocket picks are no good when you've been eliminated before you got a chance to use them. May as well pull it out. And Divios has played this Fenrir before. It's not like this is some crazy new pick where like, oh, what is Divios doing? It's something that he's been pretty confident on in the past. So not a huge surprise to see him pull it out here in a game 3. And he certainly made it work thus far. 2, 2, and 4. He's top of the player damage. He's second on player damage in his team.
Nan caught out a little bit there by DJ Pernicus, but he's going to be all right. There's the Magi's pop from Divios that he's been wanting to see. Aurora's picked up one of his own now as well, as Team Eager looking to pressure this right-hand side tier 2 tower. And Black Dragons, recognizing they don't have the damage online now to really contest it, let that one fall. And the gold lead keeps building up for Team Eager.
And again, it was DJ Pernicus that set all of that in motion for Eager, forcing Nan out just because of his raw damage on the Circuit. Divios forced to use his ultimate as Oship used that Divine Retribution onto the solo laner. I think that's a win for Eager overall, though, just because of how much cooldown is the Divios' build. He's got 20%, soon to be closer to 30% whenever he finishes off that Spirits Robe or Mantle of Discord, and whereas Oship does not have any CDR in his build. So this is a win for Team Eager because that Ragnarok going to be up a little bit sooner than the Divine Retribution.
Experience as well really starting to take its toll here for Black Dragons. Team Eager, they've got 3 members on level 20, only 2 for Black Dragons, and Oship especially. Nemesis, a very late game character, 2 levels behind DJ Pernicus, who is a Circuit she's good early, she's good mid, and she's really good late.
It has one-shot potential, though DJ has not gone for that one-shot style of build, instead electing for some more survivability, though he does with that Heartseeker add that one-shot capability whenever, but it's only on one target at one time, where we saw some of the crits come out earlier on this weekend, I believe, for Cirquet. That's your real one-shot potential if you roll well on Deathbane or your auto attacks. DJ more relying on the passive to take chunks out of the opposition, as well as just the outright auto attacks.
Null engagement really here between these two teams, but the Magi's Blessing is popped. P-Bay hits one chain, unable to find another one as Zapman dashes away here. Eager not really looking to find a fight yet.
The problem for me with this composition for Black Dragons, they're really lacking initiation. They're waiting for Eager to be the ones to aggress because P-Bay has gone for no blink. Instead, it's been the sprint and the meditation. While both those are probably necessary in this matchup, it does hurt the fact that Black Dragons can't be the ones to initiate the fights.
And, you know, a Blink Ares has been kind of a standard thing, and it's a shame to see P-Bay not be able to go that route. Devious jumps over the wall there, but there's the sprint from P-Bay that gets the chains onto the Best, forces him up into the Fire Shard. Terra's Blessing out from Aurora as well. Best comes back down, taking a lot of damage, but they're committing a lot to this Nuwa. P-Bay pulls in one. Marcel's forced out the back. Divios just chunking the backline. He finds none, and he picks up Marcel's as well. Pernicus finds P-Bay, and now Oship needs to try and defend his Hunter.
That Sunder was huge out of Divios. He's still handling two on the backside. DJ Pernicus finds a double kill, now doubling Eager in kills. 14-7 over top of Black Dragons. You called it right there, Hughes. An overcommit onto the Nuwa. That's what she brings to the late game. Guaranteed damage, yes, but safety as well. Can just buy so much time, kind of Rom-esque in that ultimate. Just buying time for the rest of the team to get there. And both Divios and DJ Pernicus came screaming out of that jungle to help out that team.
He didn't even use his Aegis there. All he burnt was his ultimate and his beads. And even then, when I say burning his ultimate, he still hits everyone on the team. It does a ton of damage at this stage as well.
And Nan has just not been able to be effective this game. He was a huge part of Game 2 for Black Dragons. Game 3, just not the same effect whatsoever. 0, 2, and 5. He's third on his team in player damage, but still not really enough to be relevant in this game. And he still doesn't have that route off to Hootie online.
Importantly as well, we mentioned this earlier, the majority of kills have been onto P-Bay, and there were kills early. The rest of his team has actually really struggled to find any kills in this game, and that's really been a big story of this one, is that the whole of Black Dragons, they get some good counter engages, they get some good damage down, but they just can't finish off the kills.
And I think that's what Eager realizes, that they don't have a lot of engage. Let's just kind of bait it out. We'll half engage, wait for them to full-on counter engage, and then the fight really begins. But it's always Eager who seems to be dictating when and where these fights are happening.
33 minutes into this game, 14-7 reads the kills, about a 13,000 gold difference in favor of Team Eager now. They're really starting to snowball themselves ahead. Zapman looking to extend that lead by taking these Oracle Harpies, and he's got some crit online now with that Deathbane.
Looks like it's going to be a Rage after that. The short sword could be the Malice as well. We saw him pick that up in game number 1. That was the big difference maker. Where's that man's crits in the late game? Eager going to get another Gold Fury, their 4th of the game. Gold Furies were the real story of this game. He was 5 in total in 33 minutes. 4 of them going for Eager. It's very difficult to win a game when you're giving up that much gold to the opposition off of a neutral objective like the Gold Fury.
Nan can't find anything there against Aurora. Aurora happy to just stand and look at the mid lane. A Portal Demon started up here by Team Eager, but they don't want to overcommit to it just yet. But if they could find a good engagement here, this could be the end for the Black Dragons, as the Fire Giant is sitting right there.
The Best is completely full build. He's even got his purple pot ready to go. Chalice of the Oracle as well, to make sure that he's never going to run out of wards in these engagements. Got that Spear of Desolation, a lot of power, more penetration, and then cooldown reduction as well, making sure that he can juke out as much as possible with the fog, throw out as many minions as he can, but more importantly, get off as many ults as humanly possible. That Nuwa ult in the late game, when you get smacked for unmissable 600 damage, that is so important in these late game team fights. You really can't overstate how valuable it is.
Right now we're seeing members of Team Eager filter out through that portal, power pots in hand. If they find a good engagement here, it'll be the end for the Black Dragons. There's so much damage online for Team Eager.
Well, almost everybody has a power pot. Aurora is completely full build. Zapman, the only one, still not happy with where his build is at and still needs to finish off that 6th item. But he's going to be the one starting up the Fire Giant as the rest of Eager try and zone away Black Dragons.
Aurora can really zone very effectively, but with Divios here as well, it's going to be next to impossible for Black Dragons to get through. Cliz trying to force his way through. Terra's Blessing comes out as well. Whirlpool down from Nan. Divios just going to jump straight here onto the Bologna. Ragnarok ultimate forces out the Eagles rally as well, but Divios still might find Cliz. He finds Nan instead, who's probably the better pick. Nan forced to place the fire shards are going to finish him off. Kraken comes through and Divios takes a lot of damage, but still, this is going the way of Eager.
Great no escape here, though. Going to pull in Divios. That evens it 1-1, but look at how weak Black Dragons are. Zap dashing forward, can't find the heart bomb, but the auto attack is good. Zap finds his 5th, 5-0 and 6. You can make that 6 now after the double kill for Zapman, and Eager gonna knock down this right side Phoenix.
They're gonna take this right hand side Phoenix. Mid Phoenix is down as well. Let's take a listen in with Eager as they potentially end this game.
Oh, 5 seconds.
Be really careful about getting picked off. Careful your low.
Now.
I still have blink, but
I think mid then fire. Did who you have actives?
Maybe.
That's all Poseidon's actives.
Let's go to fire. Let's just get the fire and win.
Yeah. I'll TP right to and start it.
Yeah, you can.
I'm down for 20 then, fuck.
Call. Good call.
Lona's down the longest, by the way.
Yeah.
I can
probably get there. They can't miss it. You're gonna try that, it looks like.
Hit Aurora.
Yeah.
Eager, cool and calculated. They're not going for the impetuous win, but want to make sure that they could secure themselves this victory and leave no doubt in anyone's mind that they are the superior team.
Though, I don't know, Hughes, even with a Game 3 victory here for Eager, I think a lot of teams will walk away from this set not necessarily being impressed with Eager's performance, but Black Dragons instead. These underdogs pushing Eager to the absolute limit. 2 37-minute plus games. Could be 40 before this one closes out. Game 1 was over 40 minutes. Game 2 was a stomp. No, Eager never stomped this team. I think that's the big takeaway here is Black Dragons were the only one to look dominant in a game so far this set. Eager may come out on top here, but it certainly wasn't easy for them.
It was a grind, this victory.
Yes.
It wasn't walking over the top of an international team like we've usually seen, and I think all of the international teams have really showed up to this event. And, you know, you were saying before how competitive SMITE is right now, and we're seeing it here. And the winner of this set goes on to face the winner of our next set, which is going to be Dignitas versus Saw. What a matchup that one's going to be. I know both of those teams are watching this matchup very closely.
What a day. We could have every single set go the distance.
Yeah.
All 3 games. I think a lot of people predicted that this would be the only set to go 2. Well, here we are. We're 38 minutes into Game 3. Certainly not an easy victory for the boys in blue.
Black Dragons, this is going to be basically the final defense for them. Full Fire Giant team of Team Eager, full buff team of Team Eager as well. Going to be very difficult for the Black Dragons to find anything here. It's really going to require a misplay out of Team Eager for anything to happen for the Brazilian squad.
DJ pushing up that right-hand side, making sure there's fire minion pressure coming into the Titan room from the opposite end of where the rest of his team is pushing. Almost getting that Magi's Blessing off of Aurora there, but Cliz a little bit off the mark with that disarm. That's a key cooldown to make sure that Aurora doesn't have that CC immunity for P-base pull.
In goes Cliz, looking for the Eagles rally, trying to find something. Terra's Blessing out as well. Divios picks up the Bologna, drags him back to the rest of his team. Bologna very, very low here, but still somehow alive, stunned out by the heart bomb from Zapman. DJ Pernicus trying to find something around the side, but Eager can't make it happen.
Slight win there for Black Dragons in my mind. You get a couple ultimates out,
oh
only one from Cliz. Big stun though out of Aurora. Zapman finds 2. Eager look to move on.
All 3 Phoenixes down, fully Fire Giant to the North American squad. They're going to take this one, big Kraken out of 9, but it's too little, too late. Team Eager finally close out this series in the 3rd game.